Hey, what's up you guys, it's Dorothy and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're going to go into chapter 10 of How to Disappear by Sharon Huss Wrote. I hope that you guys are enjoying these videos and are getting mentally prepared to go through this book. The rest of this book, I should say. So let's get right into this video. This video may contain sensitive topics and foul language. If you do not wish to continue, please click off of the video now. You have been warned. Chapter 10. I try to do homework, but mostly end up reading the same paragraph over and over until it's time for dinner, which is torture. Mom keeps talking about Marissa's party. Dad tries to change the subject, but news of the fancy coffee machine they got at his office is no match for my mother. It makes all these flavors, he says, caramel, mocha, French vanilla. Mom gives him a patient smile, then turns back to me. Do you think any of the parents will be staying? I stop mid-bite and pull the fork from my mouth. At the party? Yes, at the party. She gives a breathy laugh, snort. No. This is a high school party, not a third grade play date. I should at least pop in and say hello to Roberta. I glare Dad in the eyeballs over the top of his glasses. She sighs. It just seems a little rude to shove you out the door and speed off. Am I allowed to at least stop the car? Dad laughs. I do not. Maybe I'll just stay home, I say. I don't really want... No. She wags her finger. Don't even think about it. You're going to that party. I blink at the uneaten food on my plate. How many parents force their children to go to parties? Is this normal? I take my dish to the sink and retreat to my room. Mom calls after me when I'm in the hallway. When I'm halfway down the hall. It'll be fun. You'll see. I shut my door a little harder than usual, pressing the lock with a forceful thrust of my thumb. Jenna would laugh. She'd say, geez, get control of yourself. I never could throw a proper tantrum, storm out of a room like she could, ranting about the injustice of whatever it was, not being allowed to order pizza or getting a bad grade on a perfectly brilliant essay. She'd vent on my behalf whenever I was left out of something or teased. She'd fume and stomp. I always felt better after, even if I did the venting myself. But she's not here to vent for me now, so I coil up with the tension of it. I spring that can be sprung and lie on my bed and stare at the ceiling. I deserve this ceiling, dull white. They could put that on my grave when I die. She was dull white. I am moping just like Jenna said I would, moping and contemplating the dull whiteness of my ceiling. How could I be mad at Jenna for calling me pathetic? I am pathetic. I'd rather hide in my room than go to a party. Which is probably the definition of pathetic, but Jenna and I had plenty of fun not going to parties. I spring up and go to the bottom drawer of my dresser where I keep most of my clothes my mother buys for me. It's like a rainbow in there. She's always trying to convince me to dress more colorfully. I root through and pluck out a red and white striped shirt. She thought it looked cute in French. I thought it looked like a Where's Waldo. I try it on with a neon yellow skirt and the black and white zigzag tights and the two-tone wig and red swirly x-ray vision glasses, and it's absolutely hideous, but definitely not dull. I look like Waldo on crack. See, Jenna? Not moping. It's time for Vicarious to do some Waldoing of her own. The baby powder and hairspray trick worked pretty well on the yin-yang tattoo, which is hardly faded. I set up my bedroom like a photo studio with a sheet draped along the wall and down the floor. The white background will make it easier to cut around my form and place myself in different photos. I take a few shots where I'm standing straight on, then walking toward the left and right, a la Waldo. The process is tiring because I have to run back and forth to the photo booth application on my computer to start the timer for each one. I'm getting better, though, at knowing how to hold a pose and set the lighting just right. I click through them all and save my favorites and search the internet for the perfect image to disappear into. I end up choosing a crowd scene at a huge outdoor music festival. There are hundreds of people in a muddy field. I don't even know which band is on stage, but Vicarious fits beautifully into the sea of people walking toward the stage with her red and white shirt clearly visible. I tweak and save the image and email it to myself, then go digging in my backpack for my phone so I can post to Instagram. The phone is alive, lighting up with new followers, likes, and comments. As I take it in my hand, I give the screen an upward swipe and another, and the notifications keep rolling. With each swipe, I think this will be the last of them, but they won't stop coming. I open Instagram, afraid to look, but dying to know. When I see the number, I can't believe. Vicarious has 3,755 followers. I expected to gain a few, but more than double what it was before. It's more than Hallie Bryce has. I laugh out loud because I don't know what else to do. I can only stare at the numbers and watch it tick upward right before my eyes. Still not moping, Jenna. I remember that I meant to be posting the Where's Waldo image, so I save it for my email and pull it up on Instagram. I write a short message, and since I'm feeling adventurous, throw on some hashtags too. Can you hashtag see me? Hashtag not alone. Hashtag where's Waldo? The first likes come in less than 5 seconds, then 3 more, then 10. Within a few minutes, people are leaving I see you comments. It makes me feel better. I put my pajamas on and hide my vicarious costume in the back of my closet, then watch my Instagram feed until my mother knocks on my door and says goodnight. I quickly log out and crawl into bed. I lie awake for a really long time trying to convince myself that gaining thousands of followers who see me makes up for losing the one person who really ever did. I oversleep because I was awake until 4 a.m. and don't even remember turning my alarm off. My mother discovers me still zoinked out about 10 minutes before the school bus arrives. She hands me a granola bar and a juice box. I swear she still thinks I'm 8. As I race out the door, I spend most of the bus ride worrying that someone will laugh at my stupid juice box. When I get to world history, I'm just hoping I can put my head down and do my work and be left alone. So of course, there's a note on my desk, a folded paper with my name emblazoned on the side. I pull it to my lap as I slide into my seat. Lipton is squinting at the smartboard as if trying to puzzle out the homework assignment that's written up there. He's very studiously pretending to be busy with that. I open the note. It's a photocopy, actually, from the book about the Crusades. Several paragraphs subtitled The Siege of Jerusalem are highlighted in yellow. There's a note written in the margin. Saw this when I was doing my research. Thought maybe you could use it, L. I glance up, and Lipton grins and gives me a thumbs up. My eyes dart around to see if anyone just saw that, but nobody's paying attention, so I smile back at him. I mouth the word thanks, and he smiles wider. My face gets hot because I'm ridiculous. I look down to put the paper in my backpack and notice that he's got his pant leg tucked into his sock, which is bright red. It reminds me of the time I left the house with the dryer sheet clinging to my back. At least Jenna told me before I got on the bus I should tell him, but that could be just as embarrassing. Instead, I push my pencil off my desk so it drops and rolls near his foot. Normally, I would never do this because everyone would stare and think I'm a klutz, but they're all busy talking and nobody will notice but him. He immediately leans down to pick it up, hesitating for the briefest moment before sitting back up and handing it to me with a wobbly smile. I wobbly smile back at him and notice the blotchy flush rise to his cheeks, his face front again. But his arm drops to his side and his fingers find his pant leg and tugs it out of his sock. I am the first to arrive at the yearbook office for lunch period and have just taken a bite of ham and cheese on rye when Marissa blusters in. Oh good, you got my text, she says. Now where's Bethvo? I freeze, holding my sandwich to my mouth. I threw my phone in my backpack when I raced out the door this morning and haven't looked at it since. Marvan, she tries, crinkling her nose. Are they coming? I blink, lift my shoulders to a slow shrug. She flounces onto her rolly chair. Nobody pays attention to me, I swear. This statement surprises me. Marissa has to be the most attention-paid student at Richardson High. I put my sandwich down. We'll start without them. She swivels to face me, opening a spiral notebook in her lap and holding her pen at the ready. Any ideas? I just don't want this yearbook to be an exact replica of every other yearbook that came before. I want something different. I nod. Something besides the usual clubs and sports and class pictures and candid hallway shots, you know. I nod again. Maybe feature some student artwork or something. She writes the idea in her notebook. I don't nod because I'm starting to feel a little bobble-headed doll. I put on a serious thinking face instead, bite my lip, furrow my brows. One-on-one conversations are less terrifying than talking in front of a class, but Marissa makes me nervous, and I'm afraid of one of my vicarious ideas will pop out of my mouth. The door opens, then Marvo and Beth Ann come in laughing. I exhale. Finally, says Marissa, did you get my text? Marvo pulls his phone out of his pocket and reads the text, obviously for the first time. Yep, got it. My battery died, said Beth Ann. What are we doing? Brainstorming. Marissa clicks her pen. I want this to be the yearbook everyone will remember, like nothing anyone's ever seen before. They plop into chairs and put their own thinking faces on. Then Marvo hops up and starts pacing. How about this? We Photoshop naked people into the crowd at the football game, the choir concert, different photos all through the yearbook, he says. Nobody will even notice until it's published, and then, whoa. It'll be like Where's Waldo, only naked. My head snaps up. Beth Ann laughs. Who's the naked guy, you? He shrugs. Why not? Because you'll get suspended. We'll all get suspended, says Marissa. I'll wear a wig or a hat or something, a mustache. Nobody will know who it is. He winks at me. I hold my breath. Where are the chances Marvo just happened to think of photoshopping someone into Where's a Waldo scene in disguise? But he moves on, striking every possible pose his naked dude could be photographed in the yearbook for. The Statue of Liberty, the Incredible Hulk, the Thinker. Beth Ann is cracking up. Don't forget this one. She does the cliche John Travolta Saturday Night Fever pose. I took a vicarious photo like that, but I didn't think I used it yet or ever will now. Naturally, Marvo mimics the pose, then does another that vaguely resembles Washington crossing the Delaware, and this, you could wear a trench coat, hat, nothing else. Tri-cornered hat, nothing else. Marvo laughs, tips an imaginary hat, and waggles his eyebrows at Beth Ann. At your service, ma'am. Great. And we'll all be expelled, Marissa huffs, or arrested. We can deny any knowledge, says Marvo. Someone snuck into the yearbook office and photoshopped naked people in the pictures. We had no idea. Nobody has to know. We have a Photoshop genius in our midst. They all turn and look at me. You're a Photoshop genius, asks Marissa. I shake my head, my face burning. She vanquished an obscene gesture from one of your hockey photos in like 5 seconds flat, says Marvo. Beth Ann laughs. Doesn't mean she wants to Photoshop your naked ass into every photo. Maybe it's not so much of a great idea after all. You think? Marissa rolls her eyes, repositions her notebook on her knee. Any suggestions that won't ruin our chances of getting into college? Marvo slumps into his chair again and gives me a weak smile. Beth Ann lifts her feet, tapping the yin-yang tips of her red Converse high tops together. How about this? No headshots, only feet. Everyone will be identified and remembered by the fabulousness of their shoes. I took my slightly scuffed tan Oxfords under my chair. Marvo holds up a boat-sized foot aloof. Size 13, baby, and you know what they say about please, says Marissa. This is a yearbook meeting, not a presidential debate. Marvo groans. Beth Ann steps on his feet and they start walking around the room like that. Her Converse on top of his. I observe from the corner of my desk, nervous to be this close to the action. Vicarious belongs here, not me, and if they discovered we are one and the same, then she is lost. I don't think I can bear to lose her too. Marissa closes her notebook and shoves it into her backpack. Never mind, we'll just do the same boring stuff. Oh, come on, we'll think of something, Marvo excites himself from Beth Ann. Give us a day or two. Fine, says Marissa. Just let me know if anyone has an idea that doesn't suck. I do have an idea which probably sucks, and it would lead them dangerously close to Vicarious, so I keep it to myself. I quietly gather my things. When they aren't paying attention, I slip out of the room. The bell hasn't rung yet, so the hall is nearly empty. The stillness of it only magnifies the roar that almost constantly fills my ears, my brain, and my chest when I am at school, and danger seems to lurk behind every corner. The harried start of my day has only made it louder. I steer for the nearest girl's bathroom, passing Mrs. Green's office on the way. Her door is open. She's in there, but the overhead fluorescents are off. Only the twinkly lights she has strung along the walls are illuminated. It seems peaceful, and I am tempted to go in. She looks up and sees me and smiles. I drop my eyes to the floor and hurry to the bathroom. My usual stall is empty. I lock myself in and try to catch my breath. When Jenna was here, this hardly ever happened. She'd see me in the hall and nudge my arm and say, hey, and that's all it took. She was my own personal reset button. Now every little thing piles up until I'm buried under it and can hardly breathe. And it is so completely ridiculous, and I know that it is. My mother gave me a juice box. People spoke to me and smiled at me, and you'd think I was being chased by a pack of slobbering hyenas. Why does every single thing have to feel like a pack of slobbering hyenas? The bell rings and the bathroom fills and people are waiting, so I can't stay in here or they'll start banging or wondering what's wrong with me. I flush the toilet and go to the sink to wash my hands. There are 2 girls fixing their hair and makeup in the mirror. If they notice me, they don't acknowledge it. I'm breaking out. Do you have concealer? Says the one standing nearest to me. Her name is Mallory. She sits in front of me in biology. The other girl digs in her makeup bag and hands the tube to Mallory. Don't use it all. I'm drying my hands when one of the other stall doors opens and Hallie Bryce comes out. She glides to the other only empty sink. Mallory and her friend stop in mid-makeup application to stare at her. Even in this dingy bathroom, the sight of Hallie is breathtaking. She dries her hands and glides out. Mallory and her friend watch her go. The minute she's through the door, they turn to each other and say in unison, "Oh my God." Then they laugh and turn back to the mirror. Is she even human, says Mallory. Her friend shakes her head. Impossible. Nobody is that perfect. Mallory dabs concealer on a blemish. I bet she never gets zits. I hate her. So do I. I find myself wanting to defend Hallie. Hallie Bryce, who is beautiful and graceful and talented and absolutely does not need me to defend her. She's got thousands of followers online, and not like my followers who aren't actually following me, but a fictional character. Hallie is a human work of art and obviously doesn't care what a couple of girls sharing zit concealer in the bathroom at Richardson High School think of her. Mallory and her friend giggle some more and leave, not the least bit concerned that I heard the whole conversation. I look at myself in the mirror at my gray oversized sweater and my mousy hair that is neither blonde nor brown, but somewhere in between. I am concrete and linoleum, invisible. No one will ever guess that I'm vicarious. They don't even see me. that is the end of chapter 10. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!